When your heart is racing at the speed of light, and you feel like you got nowhere else to go. No, I hold you till the sun comes in the morning.
Hi there. Today we're going to be having a look at the Nokta Triple Score. It's got quite good reviews, I see, up and down, so we'll see how good it is. Set it up first for the test. And I've got the sensitivity turned right down to stop it sounding off while I'm going through the menu. Alright, let's see what we've got. First up there, that's the ground balance, the sweep speed, recovery speed, whatever. You can get that up to 5. For the test I'm going to be using it on 2. Next up, that's an iron filter. That's supposed to allow desired non-ferrous targets in the trash sheet sites previously masked by iron to be detectable, apparently. So we shall see. There's 1 or 2 of these things I'm going to be going through during or after the test, just to see what difference these features actually make. That's your volume. I've got it on maximum on 6. That's your backlight for the screen, maximum on 5. That's your Bluetooth headphones. You can switch headphones off and on. Ground suppression. Now I'm sure that's going to make a bit of difference somewhere along the line. Apparently it's used to eliminate force ground signals in tough terrains. So I presume if you're having a bit of a peg of a day on the ground where you are detecting, and you can turn that up to eliminate the ground noise, but by doing that I'm sure you're going to be reducing its performance. So we'll leave that on 0. Next, that's your saved programs, should you wish to knock a program up yourself and save it. That's basically a notch, so you can just knock out desirable targets and create your own discrimination pattern. Now we get another load of options. Go up 1. That's your tones. So I can either have it on 6, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4 tones, but I'll stick it on 6 for the test. Next up, that's the iron volume. I'll put it on 10. It doesn't seem to be that loud, to be perfectly honest. But we'll leave it on 10 anyway. That's mainly for the video, so you can actually hear the iron. Next, that's the tone break, so you can move it along and see where the different tones actually end up on your screen. So that's something I won't be messing about with too much. I don't think. It's just personal choice, really, that one is. Threshold, I've got that on 3. With a background hum threshold, you do enhance the signal slightly, so it is worth having a threshold. Bottle top reject, your crown bottle tops. An option between 1 and 8, depending on how harsh you want that to actually be. We'll go over that later, and I'll try it on an actual bottle top on the test bed and see what else it actually knocks out besides the bottle top. That's vibration, should you wish to have a bit of peace and quiet or you're hard of hearing. And that's your headlights, in case you're detecting in the dark. Right. We're using field for this particular test. In terms of frequency options, we've got M2, multi-frequency 2, which I shall be using for the test. It seems to be the best. And then we can go on to M3, which seems a bit tame, and then 4 kHz, 15, 20, should you wish to use it in a single frequency. Or we've got multi-frequency 1, which seems to be a little bit better than 3, but not as good as 2. But we'll go through that on the test, or after the test anyway. So, onto the test bed, and we'll see what it does. We'll get the discrimination right for the test. It's an all metal now. That's the nails. Press the discrimination again. That just knocks out the ground noise. Looks like it's knocked out the nails quite well as well. But next one, that should knock out the iron. So, we'll get on with the test. I'd tested in all metal, but it's just too noisy. Right, we'll start with the gold chain, 20 inches long, 1 inch deep, rolled into a ball. It comes out at an 11 with a low tone. Let's go over a galena next door to it, which It gives the same signal as Coke. That's an 11 as well. You won't be able to tell the difference between Coke and a gold chain based on that. Unless, of course, we do a little tweak here somewhere. Put it on 4 kilohertz. Now, we're led to believe that low frequencies don't like low conductive targets. That one certainly does. So we're going to have a gold chain there, and it's giving a great signal on 4 kilohertz. So we'll go over the Coke, stroke Galena again. So that's a good way around that. Doesn't make any sense from what we're led to believe, but there it goes. I've always found low frequencies to be better on gold chains. 15, 20. Now M1, as it's on now, is supposed to be better on high conductive targets. M2 is supposed to be better on low conductive targets. Seems to make any difference there whatsoever. M3 in difficult ground conditions. Didn't even see it. Right, we shall carry on with the test. Just thought I'd show you a few examples there of what different settings, difference wires make to the target. We get back on M2 again. That's the best, I think. We've done the gold chain, which is 20 inches long, rolled into a ball 1 inch deep. It's a 5-inch long gold chain, 1 inch deep. Small Roman bronze, 3 inches. Small pewter button, 4 inches. 6 inches. Vesper rectangle, 7 inches. 8 inches. Just about. I say it's a very, very quiet detector. This is a Coke, as a matter of interest. So it's coming in number 11, as we expected. Let's try the low conductive cut quarter. Nope. 10-inch deep copper ring. 8-inch deep copper ring. Arrow for pallet, 4 inches. The Magdalena. So onto the discrimination and separation. This is an iron cord 2 pence. Again, it's very sort of in Coke range, which is surprising really. Crown bottle top. Much better signal. Let's just see. That's iron cord 2 pence. Just change frequency. 4 kilohertz. Knocks it out completely. So put it on 20 kilohertz. Gets it perfectly. And the crown bottle top. Not as well. So just give me an idea of what difference frequencies make to some of these targets. Put it on multi-frequency 2 again. Right, coins, low and high conductive, 8 inches deep, 1 inch apart. Get it cut after, but just of course tell there's 2 coins down there. Same again, only 3 inches deep. That does tell me there's 2 coins down there. Ring pull and 20 pence. First ring pull. Here's 32 and 20 pence. same, so we won't be able to separate those on a beach or park or whatever. Low and high conductive coins with a steel staple sitting in the middle of them 3 inches deep. Just about as better. You do have to actually know what's down there first of all, of course. Otherwise, you'd never know whether you were getting it or not. Right, low conductive coins, 5 pences. We'll start with a 7-inch one. 8 inches. 9 inches. Didn't like that one. Try the 10-inch one. Right, cut quarters, 4 inches. 5 inches. 6 inches. Just 7 inches. A bit too vague that one is. On edge, 5 pences. We'll start with a 4-inch one. Down the left. 5 inches. 6 inches. Down the left. And 7 inches. Nope, fails on that one. High conductive coins, George III half pennies. We'll go for the 9-inch one to start with. It should be capable of getting that. Ten inches. 11 inches. That doesn't really do it for me. Try the 12-inch one. Gets that better than the 11-inch ones. George III halfpennies. On edge, 7 inches. Across the coin and down the lamp. Same again with a 8-inch one. I think that's a bit too vague personally. Cartwheel pennies, 11 inches. 12 inches. 13 inches. 14 inches. Cartwheel pennies on edge. Start off with the 8-inch one. Down the left. 9-inch. And the target ID is keeping up with the signal as well, which is excellent. Well, moving on to the artifacts. Large musket ball, 7 inches. Small bottle, 6 inches. Small bottle, 8 inches. As I mentioned on previous videos, for whatever reason, a lot of detectors will not get this bottle. He's getting it, but should be getting this better than that. Fibula, 3 inches. Fibula, 5 inches. Horse on this bottle, 15 inches. So I can move it about 3 or 4 inches off the ground. It's already still getting it. Large musket ball, 10 inches. Fibula, 7 inches. Getting those all right. Large lead weight, 14 inches. Thimble, 12 inches. Teaspoon, 13 inches. Small bottle, 10 inches. It's unsure of targets. It seems to drop down into sort of a Coke mode, if you like. But it's still getting it. So if you're in a field with no Coke in it, you quite happily get that. Moving on to the silver coins. A Victorian silver threepenny bit. 6 inches. 7-inch deep. Sixpence. 8-inch deep shilling. It's a hammered through the first penny. Hammered threepenny bit, 8 inches. Silver threepenny bit, 8 inches. Sixpence, 9 inches. Shilling, 10 inches. Loin, 12 inches. Half crown, 14 inches. So there is an actual problem with this coin. I keep meaning to get me probed down. There's obviously a bit of iron or something dropped there, but the bigger score coils actually got that without any problem. I'm sure this would if it wasn't a piece of iron down there. Triple nickel crown, 13 inches. We'll finish up with the iron and the odds. That's a horseshoe, 6 inches. We'll just do a tactical switch here and go on to 4 kilohertz. And for 4 kilohertz, doesn't get it. 15. Yep. 20. Back onto multi-frequency. Iron bottle, 6 inches. 20 pence, 8 inches deep with 3 nails sitting on top of it. 20 pence, 8 inches, 3 nails, 4 inches above it. Iron knife blade with 2 copper rivets sticking out of it. That's identified marked as iron, which it is, but if we move around it, we might, if we're lucky, get the 2 rivets. It's half trying, I think. Well, it's now 6 inches deep with 20 pence sitting on top of it. Just about getting that, but it's got a bigger iron bias on it. This detector from most detectors I've tried. Half penny, 6 inches with Coke 1 inch above it. That's going directly over the target. The half pence, which the Coke is sitting on top of, we take it forward. It somehow gets the coin diagonally underneath, which most detectors do. Penknife. You can tell by the iron bias is much more than on most detectors. It isn't getting the penknife as well as most. Most completely ignore the iron, but you can tell it's there with this. Horseshoe, 2 inches, 20 pence, 6 inches. Some detectors again get it diagonally from the side here. Nope. 20 pence, 2 inches, horseshoe, 6 inches. 6 half pennies stacked on top of each other, 11 inches deep. 100 mixed coins in a pot, 20 inches deep. 6 half pennies on edge in a row, 2 inches deep. Completely knocks it out from that way. Gets it quite happily that way. Now, M1 is supposed to be for high conductive targets, so we'll take it over the hoard. You would have thought, being this is the biggest target on the test bed, would have quite happily have blasted that out. Which, considering that's aimed at high conductive targets, put it on M2. I don't think there's an awful lot of difference there, really. We'll try another experiment on another one. On M2, on a cartwheel penny at 12 inches. And we'll put it on M1, which should get it technically a lot better. I personally can't see an awful lot of difference in that. I can't see the point of it, really. So you've got M1 for high conductive targets and M2 for low conductive targets, or certainly should have a bias towards one and the other, but they both do the same to me. Now, early on in the video, I went over the half crown at 14 inches and the detector failed to get it, and it sounded like it was something else, like a piece of iron or something down below that was masking it. So after I finished the test, I went down below, and lo and behold, 3 inches down was a small piece of coke, which was masking the target. So we'll go over the half crown now, see if it picks it up. I'll just put it on M2 again. So now you can see it's actually quite happily getting me half crown. The small piece of coke I shall now place on top of the target, like so, and go over it again. Target disappears. There's the coke bottom left hand side sitting next to the target. So you can see how targets are actually missed on a field, especially if it's been ploughed or whatever, and pieces of coke are moving around all the time and you're just masking targets. If there's a lot of coke on the ground, you're going to be missing things all the time. This is the first score I've had in the triple score. I haven't seen a score or a double score yet, so I'm sure they're going to be very similar, only perhaps a little bit tamer and a few features missing. No doubt I'll get one in at some stage and test it. Not a fantastic fan of the menu on Nokta detectors. I just can't remember them, basically, probably because I'm used to XPs and Minelabs. This is a very good detector for the price. Well, it's a very good detector, full stop. This one came with 2 coils, a 14 inch by 9 inch, I think it was, which I think is too big, but it was a very good coil. And the 9 by 6, which basically is an elliptical coil, and I can't stand elliptical coils, just personal choice really, but it worked quite well for an elliptical coil because they're fairly useless normally. I found field mode the best, technically, well, the sort of normal detecting I would do anyway. Park is normally discriminated in a different way, so it's not as sensitive. I tried the relic mode. I found that completely useless, unless I was doing something seriously wrong, but I didn't persevere with it anyway. I just couldn't get any sense out of it, but I'm sure it's got its uses somewhere. I've just acquired an Nokta Legend 2 as well. I've already got the Legend 1, so I shall be doing a video on both of those in terms of a comparison in the near future. Anyway, it's thanks again for watching. See you soon. Bye for now.